Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Journey Out podcast. Today, we have a new series that we want to get into, so let's just hop right in.
What is home care?
How do I navigate healthcare?
What do I do when I feel down and depressed?
I'm stressed.
Am I enough?
What can I do?
What is this going to cost?
Okay, before we hop into our first series that we're going to present to you guys today, I want to make sure that you guys are following us on all social media platforms. So you can get all of us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever at the Journey Out Podcast. On Instagram, it's the Journey Out Pod. But just be sure to follow us, like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you don't miss anything that we talk about. Now,
and if the content's good, share it.
Absolutely. Share it. If you get value from everything that we talk about,
please
share it to someone who could benefit from it. Because again, the reason why we're doing this is because we are journeying out, exodus from one spot to the next. And so in order to do that, we have to have a team, a community, and be able to kind of share content that makes that journey a little bit easier. So with that being said, we're going into our very first series, and this series is called Healthy Aging, Living Well at Every Stage. And so on this episode, what we want to talk about is how to stay active and independent as you age. And I know that is a really hard thing for a lot of caregivers right now who are caring for their loved one and they're aging and they're like, girl, I'm not exercising, or I'm not going outside. And so we have to remember that staying active keeps us independent as we age, but also mobility equals freedom.
Yeah.
A lot of times we have families that come to us, and of course we do the home care side. And so we have families like, I don't need nobody here 5 hours a day or every single day. I don't need anybody here. I can do it on my own. I've done it on my own all this time. But as we age, we tend to realize that we get weakness. Statistics show that after age 30, adults lose 3 to 5% of muscle mass per decade, making movement just more essential to our everyday life. So with that being said, if you don't want anybody in your home and you want to be able to care for yourself and be as independent as possible, we have to start moving.
Well, I'm guilty.
Yeah.
All right. I need to exercise. It's I guess you need to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Proactive, intentional, and disciplined. That's the word.
Oh, yeah.
You have to be disciplined on your day-to-day and what you want to do to make longevity in your life, to make you healthier. Right. Like you said, a lot of people that we take care of and serve, they say, hey, I don't need help.
Right.
5 hours a day, 4 hours a day. What they gonna do during this time? Well, that help for that 4 hours a day, what that does, we're not trying to take away your independence.
Right.
No, we're trying to enhance the quality of life.
Yeah.
Great word. And we're trying to keep you independent as long as possible with that assistance of serving you on a daily basis.
Right.
With that being said, there's no need to be afraid. There's no need to be ashamed.
Right.
There's no need to worry about it, right? These things that we're going to tell you today, according and also with this series, is going to help you in the long run.
It will. And it's important that as a caregiver, you're encouraging your loved one to continue to have movement, because if they can grow stronger bones and stronger muscles, which lower the risk of falls and fractures. A lot of time when we're coming into the homes, we're coming in because of those instances. Mom or dad had a fall, mom or dad broke their hip, or whatever that may have been. Well, what kind of seems to go in one ear and out the other is, if something like that happens, your independence has been taken away from you. You're no longer able to live that quality of life that you had before that incident. And so because of that, if you be preventative, be proactive, we can increase your likelihood of lowering those risk of falls, because falls don't happen because of your age. Everybody does not fall just because they're 65 and older.
And you just said 30%, 30 adults over 30 lose 3 to 5% of their muscle mass over 30.
So it's something that's inevitable. You can't really control it, but there's things you can do, getting moving, getting active, that can reduce that. Also, you have better cardiovascular health, so it can reduce the risk of heart disease if you get out and start to move. I know a lot of our seniors today are dealing with COPD and heart disease and just all of these different other things that can combine into one. And so it's really important to just get out and start moving. It also improves flexibility and balance, so better posture and coordination. That's one of the big things of falls.
Well, this is on me right now. You know, I cannot even cross my legs Indian style.
Yeah, because again, you lose,
Wow,
you get stiff, and if you stay kind of sedentary, you get stiff.
And if you
aren't able to move.
If you don't use it, you lose it.
That is true. We do see that a lot of times with our bed-bound clients, right?
Right.
If they're in the bed, and so let's talk about this since I'm bringing that up. A fall occurs.
Right.
Say for instance, you didn't break anything just lethal, right? It's okay, you're fine. But you have fallen, and now you're in a position where you're at the hospital. Where are you? In a hospital bed.
Right.
You're in there probably about a week, maybe 2 weeks, depending on the severity of that fall. And then they say, you need to go to rehab.
Right.
And go to rehab and exercise. Okay, now you're in the rehab. Where are you again?
You're in
a hospital bed.
Yeah, you're in a hospital bed in rehab. They try to get you up and be more active, but you're in a hospital bed.
Sometimes what we have seen is after that fall, after that rehab stint, it is so much harder for them to get their quality of life back and get that strength back that they are now confined
in
to
some
a
cases,
bed. In
yes,
some cases,
yes,
right?
yes.
And so because of that, with that, they're not able. It's hard for them to sit up on their own. So now they aren't able to get into a sitting position. Like the laying position works best because they're not strong enough to sit up on their own.
Right.
So it really is important that we're exercising and improving our flexibility and balance because one, for the balance piece, it'll stop those falls. But also in the event something were to happen, you can spring back a little faster.
Right, and shout out to those
rehabs and those
the hospitals that's doing a wonderful job.
Yeah.
But in this case, like she's saying, hey, one thing happen that can change your quality of life.
Right.
One fall, it don't have to be major, but it can change your quality of life to where you're not as independent as you once was.
Absolutely. And then the last thing it can do is improve your mental health. So you get a big mental health boost. You lower your risk of depression and dementia. So there is a fact that regular physical activity can reduce the risk of Alzheimer's by 50% and extend life expectancy by several years. And so again, that's just simply doing what? Chair exercises.
Yes. But check this out. So you said with the Alzheimer's piece, so it also say just 15 minutes a day can reduce immortality and increase your odds of living longer with a healthier life.
Exactly.
Especially after 60.
That's good. And it's really, and it's not like we're asking you to go run a marathon or encouraging your loved one to go out and jog up and down the street. No, like literally as you age, you aren't able to do certain things. So there's things that you can incorporate or simple exercises that can maintain the mobility and the strength of your loved one rather than just like exhausting them, you know. So one of those would be chair exercises, especially those who have limited mobility. Like it's super important to meet them where they're at. Like I can't tell my 83-year-old grandmother, let's go sprint around the track.
Let's go bench press 350.
Like we can't do that. So you have to meet them where they're at. So with our grandma, what we do is chair exercises. So seated leg lifts or the arm circles, you know, that they do, or like marching in place, things like that. You just keep your body going and trying to maintain that mobility and strength.
Right, and also that can help your balance, especially with your core.
Right,
and that helps your balance.
Right, but say for instance you have a loved one that is kind of a little bit more active. They're able to get around. They're able to move. Maybe now they can do some body weight strength training. So maybe there's some squats to a chair. So they're like standing up and they're squatting into a chair. Or maybe they can just push off the wall and do some wall push-ups. Or maybe there are even some resistant band exercises they can do, like have the band and just go like this and move it around and things like that. That's super important. Again, building mobility and building the strength.
And let's go from here. Just say, for instance, God forbid you have had a fall. You can get physical therapy to come in, home health physical therapy to come in and assist you with some physical therapy at home where they start their exercises and help your loved one on their day-to-day to strengthen themselves to get back to some level of independence.
Right.
Also, let's go to the home care side. The home care side, when you have caregivers come in to help and assist you with activities of daily living, they can also do some exercises with you, like this chair exercises could be great.
Yeah.
Also, if you didn't know, it's apps out there, right?
Yeah.
If you're at home, it's apps out there that can help you with your daily exercises. One is the Muscle Build Booster app, and then another one is Workout for Older Adults.
Yeah.
These apps are great for you. Please do your own research on them to see which one benefits you the best.
Yeah, and then even like YouTube too, they have wonderful senior
YouTube,
exercises
yes.
and stuff like that. So you can always find something. But speaking of like when physical therapy or home care is coming in to assist with this, they can help with things with balance and stability. So
Right.
maybe that's like standing on one foot or the heel to wall or Tai Chi or something. If they're able to do it, they can do that. Or stretching and flexibility. So just make sure they have a good stretching routine and things like that, just so they can still be limber.
Right.
What is the word? Limber, right? Is it limber?
Nimble?
It's nimble. That's the word. One of the
Forgive
words.
us.
You know what I'm trying to say.
You know what we're saying.
We're trying to be flexible. Okay, that's what
That's what it
that's
is,
what
right.
we're
More
trying to
flexible.
say.
Good.
So again, doing it about 10 to 15 minutes a day can have big impact
Right.
on them, and so it's important that we're continuing to do that. But I think one of the big things that we face in general is avoiding falls and injuries. I think that's something big that we see all the time. A lot of times when we're coming into a situation, a fall has happened.
Right.
And so we're kind of behind the 8 ball now. So now we're trying to repair what already has happened. And so for that, I want to give some safety tips for our family caregivers and for the loved ones who are listening that could help kind of avoid those falls and injuries. Do you or your loved one know of someone who needs a home safety assessment? Well, look no further. PC Home Health is here for you. Do you want to stay at home and age in place safely? We got just the thing for you. Our safety evaluation includes inside, outside the home, laundry rooms, bedrooms, attics, kitchens, lighting, fire safety, you name it, we can do it. So please give us a call at 214-991-5619 and get your home safety assessment scheduled today. Again, your loved one needs to be safe in their home, and if they want to age in place, we can help them do it safely.
Be proactive, not reactive.
So for home safety, I would definitely want to remove clutter first, and also tack down any loose rugs. If the rugs can be tacked down, I know it's just part of the decor, but you want to get it up because it's, decor. When we want the home to look nice, but at the same time we want it to be safe for them. And if it's just safer to get the rug up, then do that. If it can be tacked down and flush with the floor, that's good. Also, installing grab bars are like just a huge game changer. It's something so small. You can get the ones from like the Walgreens, CVS, Walmart, or you can get them installed by like a construction team or something like that. Either way,
And
but they're
you
game
have
changers.
those sticky lights.
Yeah, the
that you can probably stick on the wall, put a battery in it, and it's a motion detection light.
Lights as well.
Yes.
That's perfect. But with those grab bars, you want them to be in areas where they'll need it the most, where falling is going to be, it's where falling happens the most. So bathrooms.
Yeah, bathrooms, hallways. If your loved one is getting up at nighttime, going to the kitchen or to the bathroom or something like that, those are a good place to have those. I like the motion lights. Accessible to where if they walking by, they give them some light so they can see where they're going.
Right. And then also wearing the right shoes. So non-slip supportive footwear for stability is super important. We don't want, I don't know if some shoes are made different, but there's some shoes where I'll walk on tile and I'm like about to slip. And I'm like, I know I have traction, but it's just not suitable for this floor type, right? So just making sure that the shoes are non-slip and are supportive of their feet. If their feet are hurting, we don't want to put them in shoes that make their feet hurt or cramp or whatever. We want to make them feel comfortable.
Right, but then we don't want too big of
a shoe as well.
Right, and some people do have a bigger size shoe because of swelling in the ankles and the feet. Understandable. But you don't want them too big to where they flopping off because that can be a tripping hazard as well. And then the last thing I want to kind of cover that's super important is that if there is a fall, your loved one should know how to get up the correct way. Because it's a really tricky task. Sometimes they fall and they're like, oh, I'm okay. And then they get up, but they're not getting up in a proper way and can fall again. Or at that time, they can't actually injure themselves in the process. So if there is a fall, it's important to remind your loved ones to stay calm.
Some seniors
As
have
calm as possible, yes.
Yes, calm as possible. Some seniors have those life alert necklaces and things like that. Some carry their phone on them. But if they're in a position where they cannot contact anybody, what they want to do is make sure they roll into their side if they're not injured. Roll into your side, and then use furniture for support to get you up. Now, not the little tray tables that you put your food on. That's not sturdy, but if there's some good sturdy furniture that's next to them, they can get up using that with support. But if you do know that your loved one deals with falls kind of frequently, and they're not able to, they're kind of weak, they're not able to kind of get up on their own and things like that, it is very important to have those like life alert buttons or something around that can assist them, and someone that can get to them as quickly as possible to get them off the floor.
Is there some like a life alert watch too?
Yeah,
wristband or something.
Technology has come a long way. So there's like watches and rings and like just different things that you can get and press, so someone can get alerted that they are on the floor and get them up safely.
And if push come to shove, let a caregiver be your eyes and ears, right? To assist them and be there to watch them for you.
Right. And it's just important to know, like 1 in 4 adults over 65 fall each year, but most falls are preventable with strength training and safety precautions in place. And so again, just because they're older does not mean they're going to fall or they're supposed to fall. That is a myth. That's not true. Right. If falls are occurring, there is a problem there. And so we got to make sure that we're looking at strength training, medications possibly, vision possibly, the safetyness of the home. Like we have to look at all those different things to make sure that they're being safe and that we can prevent those falls as much as possible. So final tips, any takeaways that you want to give them?
Be proactive.
Yeah.
Be proactive in your loved one's care, right? We all get old, right? We all get forgetful. We all lose muscle. They say, but
muscle mass, 3
to 5% once we get over the age of 30. So for us, being proactive is starting to exercise, right? Taking that 10 to 15 minutes a day to do something that's going to help your body gain its muscle or keep its muscle, so it won't. If you lose it, if you don't use it, you won't lose it in that way.
Right.
Also, again, keep an eye on your loved ones, on your grandmothers, on your mothers and your fathers and your grandfathers, because as they do age, things get a little complicated. Balance, it could be off a little bit. Right. So keep them active also, so they can do things. Encourage them to be active so they can do things to keep their independence. But you, as someone that is watching that or taking care of your loved one, you need to be proactive and watch them to say, okay, hey, is mom and dad doing better? I hear what they say on the phone. I know they went to the grocery store the other day and they drove, but have you got in the car with them and watched them drive? Right? Have you came in to see them, how they put up the groceries? All this, you have to be proactive because it's options out there to help them, right? You can have somebody come in your home and assist them with these things, to drive with them to get to get groceries, to help them put the groceries up, meal prep, medication management, the whole gambit. But you as a son or a daughter that's taking care of a loved one, you have to be active as well. Right.
And also I would just say too, start small.
Yes.
I mean, you don't have to give them a whole exercise regimen and but start small. Just, hey, let's just go on a walk. Me and you, or time where you guys can bond, but also you can kind of get a feel of what you were saying, like what is their day-to-day life, where do you see that they may need help. But I also say embrace adaptive tools, which is a really hard thing for our seniors, because again, sometimes they're like, I'm okay. I don't want my friends to see me with a walker. I don't want my friends to see me with a cane. But we have to embrace those adaptive tools because they're there to keep us safe. They're not a sign of weakness. They're not a sign that you're different from your peers. They're not a sign of anything. What it is you can't get your life back. And so I might have to use this cane around here, but at least I'm walking.
At least at
least I'm still standing.
Right. At least you still, yes.
So that's super important. So I know a lot of families do deal with them saying that. And so we have to remind them, hey, your life is worth more than the potential shame that you might feel using that tool, but we care about you and we want you here.
And you don't want to, I would rather you use the walker or a cane because you don't want to have another fall again.
Right.
Because that next fall can put you further back.
And they really are a tool of independence.
Right.
They keep you independent.
Yes.
And so that's super important to remember. But I think overall, we just want to make sure that what y'all take away from this is to stay active, make sure that your loved ones are moving, you're encouraging your loved ones to move, remind them that movement is medicine. Also, making sure that we're focused on balance and strength training to prevent falls, to make sure that people are staying strong and healthy as they age as best as we can. Also, that it's important to make your home as safe as possible for your loved ones, taking down rugs, adding those grab bars, adding some improved lighting to kind of make the space look bigger and they can see visually. And just to get started today, do one small thing today. Go on a walk or do something like that can just encourage that movement today.
And I know this is a lot of information that you're probably getting. In this series, you will have more information that we're going to be tagging along. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.
Yes.
Also, home safety tips. That's a great thing. Tell them about the home safety tips where, hey, if you feel like, hey, I want to be proactive, let me make sure my loved one is living, the home is not cluttered, the lighting is right for them, they have the grab bars. Tell them a little bit about that.
Yes, so there are home safety assessments that you can have done on your home where there is someone coming in and they can do a full 240-point inspection of the home. They're done by home safety advisors. Antoine and myself are some home safety advisors. And if you're in the area or you need some, we reach out. We can definitely kind of point you to in the direction of some. But yes, they can come in and do a whole 240-point inspection of your home to ensure its safety for your loved ones. And from there, you'll get a full breakdown and kind of work through the process of what's needed, what can I get right now, what can I get started, and then kind of go from there. But yeah, so that is a great tool that you want to make sure that you're utilizing for your loved ones. But we have more to go in this series. Next episode, we'll be talking about brain health and preventing memory loss. So please, please, please stick around, stay tuned, like, follow, subscribe, and share so that you don't miss any of the good tidbits that we have for you guys. And with that,
I hope this information was valuable to you. I hope this you now can become a resource to your family and to your community. We thank y'all. We out.
bye.